I'm going to do a book review, a very quick review on has to be one of the most emotional books I have ever read in my entire life, and it is the sequel to Tangled. It is Twisted, and Emma Chase was so kind. I won a copy of an ARC of this copy at a Facebook event that she was holding, talking about this book, and I won this copy. And this is going to be a very quick video because the synopsis is going to suck, I'm just telling you, because I cannot tell you anything about this book that's going to give it away. I can't. So, as you know, in Tangled, if you saw my review, I loved this book, and I already did a review on it saying it's one of the most hilarious books I've ever read. And it ended with Drew Emmons winning Kate back after he acted like a total jackass. And in this one, in Twisted, let me just say that this book is told from Drew's point of view. This is told by Kate, so it's two completely different POVs. And they're back together, and they're trying to work out these, quirks that they have that they're not necessarily happy about, because Drew still hurt her, and she's getting over Billy, which is her ex-fiance, and they're back together. And it goes down the line that they're at his family's estate at a family dinner, and Kate realizes something that is not very good for her. At least in her perspective, she realizes it's not very good, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. That's considered a spoiler. And the book goes on, and Drew does a very, very bad thing, and and she flees New York, she flees Drew, she leaves him temporarily, and she goes back to Greenville, Ohio, which is her hometown, and she stays with her mother, and her mother owns a diner and an apartment building, apartments on top of the diner up in Greenville. I remember her dad died, so it's just her and her mom right now. And Dolores comes back, which is her Dee, which is her best friend. Billy comes back, yes. And you figure out the reason why Kate and Drew had been fighting about this entire book is over a complete misunderstanding. It's a complete mistake that they're both fighting. The reason why she left is because she thinks that Drew didn't want something that happened between them two. And it's just, as I said, it's one of the most emotional books I've ever read. I've never cried more during a book than when I did with this. I could not put this book down for the past 3 days. Every moment I had free, I was on my couch or in my bed reading this book. And it is amazing. If you're a single girl, you'll relate to this book. If you're a married woman and you have a messed up marriage, you'll relate to this book. If you're a mom, you'll relate to this book. If you're a teenage single woman, you'll relate to it. It's just, I'm a mom, so I can relate to this book 110%. And it's just, it's great, but it's an emotional ride. I drank a bottle and a half of wine while reading this one. Emma Chase herself said a large amount of wine during this book is required. So I'm just going to read you a cup. I hope that was a good synopsis. I said I don't want to tell you anything that's going to mess it up. The ending of this one, I loved it, and I was shocked, but I already knew that the reason why they were fighting was a complete understanding. I knew that for the whole book. Oh, but once Drew found out, I admit I was crying like a baby. I was crying like a baby, and I hated Drew throughout this whole book. I hated him. I know I said in Tangled I loved him so much. I hated his freaking guts in this one. I'm sorry, Emma Chase, I know you watch my videos. I hated him. So I'm just going to read you 2 little snippets from the book, and I'm not going to give anything away. So, yeah. Drew shrugs. I'm just having a little fun. I figured, why should you be the only one who gets to? I hear his words, but I don't understand them. My eyes squint and my head tilts, like a bewildered dog. Drew steps away from the redhead and takes a swing from the bottle. He flinches as he swallows. You look confused, Kate. I'll explain. The first rule of lying is always get the alibi straight. See? Right now, Matthew and Dolores are on a plane to Vegas. As I said, I just finished this book, so the feelings are still there. I hated him in this entire scene. And if you've read the book, you know what scene that is. That's basically where you hate Drew's guts and you're like, you're a total jerk, jackass, whatever word you can come up with. Bastard is what I came up with. And this is the part, and I hope I don't cry, because this is the part where I totally lost it. The door swings closed behind me, and she lifts her head. Her eyes light up, and she smells big. Kate. She puts the list down and moves towards me. Then she sees my face, and the corners of her smile falls like a feather in the wind. Her voice is hushed and laced with concern. Kate, what's wrong? My arms give up, and my bags drop to the floor. She takes another step. Kate, honey, what happened? Now there's an excellent question I should answer, but I can't because my hands are covering my face and always sounds escape my lips or gasping snobs. You see, even when I read the book now, I'm crying because that was the one scene I have to say is just made me cry is when Kate goes back to her mother. After years of not seeing her and after what Drew did to her, she just breaks down. I said, yeah, when you read a book that's so fresh, it just makes you cry. That's why I had to barricade myself in my apartment. I could not read this book in public because I was crying like this. So you need to pick this book up. It is amazing, and if you just want to learn so much about books, and what I love about Emma Chase is that she stows upon so much of her life experiences in her books, and it's so fresh and original, and I just love it. So if you want to cry like a baby like I have, you need to pick this book up, and I can't wait for Tame to come out, which is told from Matthew and Dolores Didi's point of view, and I can't wait because this has to be my all-time favorite series. And Emma Chase, if you're watching this, please don't let it be over. Please have a third one, please. So pick these two books up. They're both great, and I'm going to stop because I'm going to continue crying. So I'll see you later. Bye.